Hello everyone, I'm the Masked Analyst. It's been quite a while since I made a video. It might be quite a while before I make another video. I apologize, but I've been very busy and I just don't have as much time for this as I used to. However, this evening I read an article that absolutely made my blood boil, and I have to comment on this. I just have to. Now, part of the reason that we're in the economic crisis that we're in is because of the credit rating agencies. Agencies like Moody's, Fitch's, Standard and Poor's, they've been overrating companies. They've been overrating the bonds of companies. Investors have put their money into these companies based upon the ratings, and the companies have gone bankrupt or been terrible. They've been terrible investment vehicles. Even Enron, a number of years back, the rating agencies were saying, hey, this is a great company, even just 4 days before Enron went bankrupt. And the agencies have been able to avoid accountability. Now, how have they been able to do this? Well, right now, the SEC wants to regulate them more stringently. Congress wants them more regulated. A bunch of people have tried to sue them, but they've got some rather slick lawyers. And they're slick lawyers, one of whom being Floyd Abrahms, and I'll post a link to a video that that's been made about him. And I'm going to post a link to an article that's been made about him and the arguments that he's been using to get off the agencies. He argues that the credit agencies are merely offering their opinions, and opinions are constitutionally protected free speech. They're protected by the First Amendment, and they can't be held accountable for their opinions. Oh, really, Mr. Abrams? Tell me. Suppose I buy a used car, or I'm thinking about buying a used car. I drive it into a mechanic, and I ask the mechanic to thoroughly inspect that car. I tell him, look, my life is going to depend on the reliability of this car. So I come back the next day and the mechanic says, yep, I've checked it out thoroughly, 100%, left absolutely no, nothing unturned. It's a beautiful car, you're safe in it, run reliably, no problems. So I pay him and I thank him and I drive off in the car, and the second I get off the driveway, the wheels come off, the engine blows up, the brakes fail, and these are things that any competent mechanic would have spotted right away. Do you think that he should be able to avoid responsibility by merely saying, hey, it was just an opinion. Opinion is constitutionally protected free speech. Okay, another example. Suppose I have a sore throat. Go into a doctor. Says, doctor, my throat, it's sore. And the doctor says, oh boy, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to amputate your right leg. And so being a total idiot, I say, go ahead, amputate it. If you got to do it, you got to do it. I then go, after the amputation, I then go to see another doctor, and the doctor says, what sort of fool diagnosed you like that? You got strep throat. You didn't need to have your leg amputated. Do you think that my first doctor should be able to say, hey, it was just an opinion. You can't prosecute me because I gave you a bad opinion. Opinions are constitutionally protected free speech. Okay. Third example. I'm about to get my taxes done, so I bring it to a CPA. My taxes to a CPA who specializes in tax law. He's licensed and all that other good stuff, and I say, okay, what do I owe the IRS? And the CPA says, hey, the IRS has no constitutional authority to mandate that you pay taxes. You don't owe them a thing. And so, being a total fool, I withhold my IRS payments. I don't pay them a thing, and they come later on, and I get into hot water with them. Should I not have the right to recover from the CPA who misled me? Or can he just say, hey, it's just an opinion. I can't be held responsible for my opinion. Are you telling me, Mr. Abrams, that the First Amendment is a get-out-of-jail-free pass, that it overrides all negligence? At what point does professional responsibility come into account? At what point is there an obligation to issue an opinion that has some bearing with reality? Do the credit rating agencies not have some sort of fiduciary responsibility to the investors? And if they don't have a fiduciary responsibility to the investors, then what the hell are they there for? What the hell is the purpose of the credit rating agencies if they're not there as a guide to investors? Tell me, Mr. Abrams, do you think that a doctor should be able to get off scot-free no matter how wild his opinion is, no matter how at variance his opinion is to the practices of the medical community at large? Should a mechanic be able to get off scot-free no matter how incompetent he is, merely because he's telling his customer his opinion? Does the First Amendment totally invalidate negligence law? Is malpractice law dead because of the First Amendment's protection of opinion? Do you really believe what you're saying, Mr. Abrams? Or are you just saying this because the insurance agencies are paying you buku bucks? Oh wait, oh my. First of all, let me just state that the last thing I just said, that's not to be taken as a statement of fact. I don't know for a fact that you're taking the position that you are because the insurance agencies are paying you buku bucks. I don't know that for a fact. But it is my opinion that that's probably the case. It is my opinion that you are the lowest, sleaziest snake in the grass around. Now, I hope that you will defend my right to have that opinion as zealously as you defend the opinions of the credit card agencies, of the credit rating agencies. Well, this has been the Mass Analyst, under and in.